5 tonight. All right. Should read topic number 5 tonight. Says how to use penis power to climb your way to the top. You guys drop a 1 if you're familiar with this story when I put it up. What's his name? Balthazar. Drop a 1 if you're familiar with this story. We'll watch the video and then we shall discuss it.
Over 400 sex tapes. Yeah, 400. That's the starting point for this deep dive. And
my boy got over 400 tapes. He is the Diddy in Africa.
And you're not going to believe who we're talking about. We're looking at a political scandal, really rocking Equatorial Guinea, using reports straight from news outlets and local media. It's going to get a little uncomfortable, but we're going to focus on the facts and what they mean for the country. So, our story. It all centers on Balthazar Nganga. He was the Director General of the National Financial Investigation Agency. He's been accused of secretly recording these tapes, and the women featured, they're deeply connected to the government. I mean, we're talking wives of officials, family members, even the president's sister.
Wow, the implications of someone in Nganga's position, potentially using surveillance tech for this purpose, huge. We have to ask if consent was truly given, or if his power played a role. This isn't just a personal matter. It raises serious questions about the integrity of the agency he leads.
And the location of some of these recordings, it adds another layer to this whole thing.
So the caption says that he has gotten consent from every single woman that he's been with. What? Every single 400 consent. You're gonna tell me not one person didn't know about the camera? Come on, dog. Come on, man. I don't know if I believe all that. Out of all those tapes, you're gonna tell me not one didn't know.
Imagine finding out that these acts took place in his office with the national flag visible in the background. It's a blatant disregard for the office he held.
Yeah, that detail speaks volumes about the potential misuse of government resources and a lack of respect for the institution itself. This isn't just a scandal about personal misconduct. It's a breach of public trust.
Not only are you getting down with all these people, you're getting down with people at work. You're getting down with like high officials. I think they said the president's sister. Dude, let's take a look at this list of alleged relationships that this man has been with. All right. Nganga, we're gonna do E-bang, Nganga. Dude, you do E-bang a lot, no pun intended, right? So look, the wife of the director of presidential security. Golly. The attorney general's wife. I mean, damn. That's up there, man. You're not like aiming for some bottom of the barrel type of female. Like you going after people with power right now as girls. The daughter of the director general of police. Oh, jeez. The wife of his pastor's little brother. God dang. Man, not only is the president, the lawyer of the company, and the general of the police, the people in church not even safe from this guy. All right, keep going. His godfather's wife. Oh, man, you just messing with family. His sentry's wife. His bodyguard's wife. How is that? I can see that can probably happen. 15 friends of his younger sister. Well, I can see how that can happen too, man. I mean, name one older brother that's not looking at a younger sister that's younger than them by like 1 or 2 years old, eyeballing their friends. It happens. His pastor's wife. The wives of several ministers, including Minister Oboro, his own little brother's wife. Disrespectful. His uncle's pregnant wife. Even more disrespectful.
On a grand scale.
The government has responded swiftly, and Nganga is now imprisoned, facing charges related to corruption, and any officials suspected of similar activities have been suspended. They're calling it a zero-tolerance policy.
It's an interesting approach, but it raises questions about whether this is a genuine effort to root out corruption or a calculated move to control the narrative. We'll need to look at the history of similar policies in Equatorial Guinea.
You're gonna arrest this man for corruption, but all he really was doing was begging people's girls, dude. That he was clapping them all, bro. Bro was literally, dude, 400 in the office, my guy, on film. This is corruption? I mean, is it not? There's something else? Like, that's what y'all hit him with? I mean, just like, damn.
To understand the context and what this might mean for the future.
That makes sense. The Attorney General has stated that
personal
consensual
conduct
sex is
at
not
the
a
job
crime unless coercion can be proven, which adds complexity to the legal situation. But with the potential for the spread of disease and the high profiles of everyone involved, things get murky quickly.
Yeah, this situation really highlights the intersection of personal actions and public life.
See?
Even if some of the relationships were consensual, the potential for blackmail.
Attorney General, dog, he tag you up. You're a victim at this point. You are a victim, my guy. You should be trying to. If I was in this man's shoes and you play me, not only would I just try to be like, man, you really just tapping in. You doing this on purpose at this point. This is not even a fling thing. You're just doing this just because y'all fell in love. Y'all caught feelings. Bro is really out there knocking them down. Like, he is on a mission. He is targeting.
Damage to reputations adds another layer of concern. And when you consider the potential impact on national security and international relations, the stakes are even higher.
The fallout from this scandal has been immense, igniting public outrage and forcing people to grapple with the realities of power dynamics and accountability within their government. What are your thoughts on the societal impact of this, and where do we go from here?
Right. Scandals like this can trigger a crisis of faith in the government. People start questioning who they can trust. And if their leaders have their best interests at heart, rebuilding that trust requires more than just punishing individuals. It requires addressing the systemic...
My boy has 6 kids and a wife at home. He got a problem, y'all. He just got a problem with his thing, bro. He likes sharing it. He likes using it, man. He has an addiction at this point. It's really not it. He is leveraging his position in the government to support his
issues
addiction
that allow the situation to occur.
So, what are some of those systemic issues, and how do they play into what we're seeing unfold?
We need to look at this scandal within the existing political climate in Equatorial Guinea. There have been long-standing concerns about corruption and a lack of transparency within the government. This case just throws those issues into sharp relief.
It's like this whole situation has pushed those concerns to the forefront, making them impossible to ignore any longer.
Exactly. And it goes beyond individual accountability. We're talking about systemic issues, how power is distributed, how institutions operate, and how ethical conduct is ensured at all levels of government. This scandal...
I just don't understand how he's getting access to all these high government officials. At this point, I wonder if these guys are just giving them the females just for like money back up. This guy must have something on him, bro. Ain't no way he has this much access. So, this much access to everybody's old lady wife. How, guys? He must have something on these guys. The Diddy of Africa.
It could be a catalyst for demanding deeper reforms.
It all started with these leaked videos, which is a stark reminder of how technology can be used in ways we never anticipated.
Think about it. The accessibility of recording devices and how easily content can spread online has created a whole new set of risks and opportunities. We're seeing this play out all over the world, where private lives collide with public scrutiny in a way that was unimaginable just a few years ago.
And in this case, it goes beyond private lives. The potential misuse of surveillance technology by someone in Ngonga's position.
No lie, be very careful, because I mean, even at my workplace, I mean, the cameras got hacked. All right, literally stealing, the cameras got hacked by someone in China, dude. Like any way into the system, they're gonna find a way, and you know what? They're gonna see something and just leak it, just because that's just what hackers do.
Raises serious questions about national security and even international relations.
Absolutely. The potential for leverage and manipulation with this type of material is enormous. It highlights the critical need for robust cybersecurity measures and ethical guidelines for handling sensitive information.
So how do we navigate this new landscape? It feels like we're constantly trying to find a balance between individual privacy and the need for transparency and accountability, especially when it comes to people in positions of power.
It's a delicate balance, and there are no easy answers. Open dialogue, critical thinking, and a commitment to ethical principles are essential. We need to have open conversations about the responsible use of technology, the limits of privacy, and the importance of holding those in power accountable for their actions.
One detail that really struck me was the report that some of these recordings took place in Ngonga's office, right next to the national flag. What does that say to you about the situation?
To me, that's a powerful symbol. It speaks to a complete disregard for the institution he was supposed to represent. All
right, man, y'all want to talk about technology at this point, man. We're getting a little bit away from the actual story, from the original narrators to the second party narrators, now into me. Guys, my thoughts are this man is literally a villain. I don't know what kind of stuff he has over these other guys' heads. I don't know if he's making use of his position in the office to, finance something, give extra money, and in return people are just giving him their wives as a favor, a party favor at this point. Like, I still, in my mind, just don't know how he can tackle all those high-ranking officials, girls. I just don't know. That's just me. Y'all seen the picture. They were all lined up, and he tagged almost every single one of them. All right? But the disrespectful thing is your uncle's pregnant girlfriend. Golly, man. There's no one off limits. Have you no self-control or self-respect for family? I get it. A man of your nature probably does not. And you have an addiction, you have a problem, and you'll do anything that you can leverage to satisfy that addiction. Ngonga, dude, I don't know what to say. You are a...
All right. How many of you in the chat on the panel had heard about this story when it dropped maybe like 3 weeks ago? I'm curious, so I'll start with Oni first. I want to know, did this come up at all in the news where you're at in the continent? What say you, Oni?
Well, yeah, I mean, I heard about it. I don't know if it came up in the news, but it was a social media thing. Actually, I was just minding my business, and then my wife pointed it out to me. She was like, yo, but she's on I don't know, Instagram or Twitter or something like that. So yeah, there was a little conversation. So I heard about it, and we actually talked about it on Harsh Reality podcast. I feel like it was it was a good conversation that kind of put, you know, kind of contextualized this conversation. But I know you're asking anybody, so I'm just gonna wait till that.
No, only you can speak on it now. Speak on it now.
Oh yeah, well, so the guy doesn't use his penis to climb his way to the top. He's already at the top. So this guy he was the next in line for the dictatorship, for the presidency. Um, and I think it might even be like the oldest, like the longest lasting presidency in Africa. I don't know off the top of my head, but let's just say let's pretend it's like since 1978 or something. Did the chat? Okay, yeah, since like 1978 or something. So yeah, he's the nephew of the current president, and I guess some people would speculate that um, the son of the current president might see him as his most potent political rival, and so that's the whole release. But again, this guy is the nephew, and so I was just I totally forgot about the story, so I just kind of looked it up to see if there were any updates. And I think the guy, he went to like their serious prison, their prison where people don't return, and let's just say he returned, so he's out free as if nothing happened. So yeah, we're talking about. I think Charles says it best. Um, like we're talking about a guy in power, right? Who can go to Rikers for 1 week and step away. You know, the guy legit next in line to the presidency. So that's why he had this access to these women. You know, and of course, why is he messing with family? I have no idea. I think he does have some. This is a sick person. He does have some sort of, hyper addiction. Um, but he's also, but we also have to, put into context that this is a guy who has, like, who's probably like the second richest person in the country. You know what I mean? The second most powerful person in the country. His and this is a country with extreme nepotism and extremely anti-democratic. And I'm not a fan of democracy. I'm just pointing out extreme, like let's say extreme corruption. Okay, the president's been there for let's say 40 years. All right, no contest, no contesting. The next president would be between the current president's son or his nephew. His nephew holds a high political office, like chief of finances. The president's son holds a high political office. The president's brother, this guy's father, holds another chief economics, so on and so forth. This is a hugely corrupt, nepotistic society. So of course he has access to women. And women who are relatives and women who are colleagues and women who are coworkers. He shouldn't have this job. But this is now again, I don't know if I can blame religion here because I don't know the religion here. But this is what we talk about when we talk about ignorance, when we talk about people not generally reading, when we talk about the suppression of the state and how the state can just do anything, because the state is the arbiter of violence. The state was sending, if you're a political if you're a political opposition, you're going to this prison that this guy can go to and walk out of in 2 weeks. So yeah, it's a real story, obviously, but the reality is that this is not like this is basically Hunter Biden. You know what I mean? Who could go do pot in the middle of the White House. You know what I mean? Like it's not like the rules don't apply to these sort of people. And he probably is a sex addict. So this is the expression that his corruption or the nepotism of this society takes. That's it.
Only, what do you think of this? Sound like white folks talking about this thing as if Bill Clinton wasn't in the White House getting BJs. What do you think about that? The way and the tone that they're talking about it.
Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's. I'll put it this way. I mean, honestly, I don't know about this whole like black people are sometimes we're like we don't want white people talking about our conversation, but I feel like we talk about white people's conversations all the time. And I think one of the things about that is, um, like these white people are not they're not special. You know what I mean? They are looking to create content too. And I was actually talking to my wife was actually pointing out to me. She was like, "You don't do any podcasts anymore?" And I was like, "Wait, no, I still do. I still want to." But I realized if you're not talking about current events, it is pretty. It's much harder to talk about to do content. And I think, as far as I could tell, those white people were on World Star Hip Hop, so it's like they're on a platform that you know, for all intents and purposes, caters to a black audience. You know, um, and I don't know why they're the newscasters in World Star, but I don't even know what World Star is about, honestly. like I don't know why World Star was a thing. I just know black people posted punching and kicking on World Star. So I would say, yeah, white people talking about black issues. I think in America, it's really kind of a melting pot at this point. Like coming from somebody who's like now living in Africa, I guess. Like I could see how America was just kind of like melting pot, and really it was like I could see how black people and white people they're both looking to create weekly or daily content, and given that World Star caters to the lowest denomination of black people at this point, no disrespect to the World Star fans, right? But given that World Star does that, like I'm not surprised that World Star would be talking about not that this is a bad issue, but I'm not surprised that we'll start be talking about this. And if there's white people on the panel, I'm not surprised white people are talking about it. But also, I think, at the end of the day, like my experience in America was that black people are always talking about white people stuff. Even when white people are not around, white people are not there, black people, and just the same, you put it on white people that white people are pretty damn obsessed with black people too. So it's just this weird, both sides being obsessed with each other that, at the end of the day, I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, they want to pay their bills too. You know what I mean? And they're actually getting paid and from World Star Hip Hop, they're probably getting paid good money to talk about it. So yeah, white people will talk about black stuff for money, and the only problem is that a lot of black people talk about white stuff for free. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying.
Well said there. Thank you for that, Oni. Uh, Cheryl says, look how women throw themselves at athletes and celebrities. The puss is free everywhere for powerful men. Not a right or wrong thing, just a fact of life. Our boy Anthony McPhail is out there. He said Equatorial Guinea had been ran by the same family since 1968. First by Francisco Macias, and then his nephew Teodoro Mbasogo, the current leader. He said the current leader executed his uncle in 1979 and has ruled since then. So that's interesting. I did not know that. With that said, let me go to Jose. Jose, what are your thoughts on all of it?
Well, I my whole life I wonder what we always speak of women as if they are things that we pick up, impregnate, or pick up and use and then put back where we found them. And it's yeah, it amazes me, let me put it that way. And people are speaking of victims, and he did something to those women. Yeah, he made them happy for a couple of minutes, And what I want to say to the ladies, stop bragging about the the D. Stop bragging. Stop telling each other that you had a good time with a certain man, because your girlfriends are going after that man. You know, I'm not a lady man, but even I have lived it. I had a platonic relationship with a girl. She had friends, and I had almost all of them. Like, you know, if you have one, she's going to tell the next one. She's going to tell the next one. Good time, yeah. Come get your good time. So, ladies, stop bragging about your man, your boyfriend, etc. Keep it in the home. Keep it between you and him. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, to be honest, a woman I used to date years ago told me that too. She was like, I won't be telling no friends about you and this, that, and the other, because as soon as you start talking about a guy makes you happy to women, other women want to come and deal with your man. So I've heard that before too, Jose. So thanks for that. Um, Real Bad Gentleman in chat said, hoes get horny, ninjas die. That's a Tupac quote. Um, Cheryl says, meanwhile in Ghana, man has 4 wives and they're wonderfully happy. Interesting, right? With that said, let me hear from Black Steel on this. Black Steel would say,
The Bill Clinton thing, it's a matter of quantity. Bill Clinton had Monica Lewinsky. This dude had 400 women. So it's really a matter. And then it was all people he knew. It wasn't like strangers, his intern. It's like his brother's pregnant wife or something like that. Like, come on, bro. This is what we call dirty dicking. This is a dirty dick dude, okay? But Anthony talked about the Equatorial Guinea and the president has been in charge. But one thing I was while we were talking, I'm looking up. It says that Equatorial Guinea is one of sub-Saharan Africa's largest oil producers. It's the richest country in Africa per capita, and its gross domestic product ranks 43rd in the world. However, the wealth is distributed extremely unevenly, with few people benefiting from oil riches. Less than half of the population has access to clean drinking water, and 7.9% of children dying before the age of 5. It's also the only country in Africa where Spanish is, spoken as an official language. It says it has a totalitarian government and one of the worst human rights records in the world, consistently ranked among the worst of the worst. Let's see, it has human trafficking as a problem, forced labor and sex trafficking is a destination and a source of it. So this makes me question, even if this was done willingly, or these women were sleeping with this dude because of his power, right? His access to wealth, his access to the president. It's not just a matter of he just smashing everybody, but it's like these women made a conscious choice. If I give him something, maybe I can get this. Maybe I can get this. It's just really just, to me, it's just kind of giving coercion. People were messing with dude because it's a pathway to a better life. Um, Ultimately, I don't. The situations like this, you know, what happened between two consenting adults, I really don't care. But I think the overall condition of the country made, he was like, hey, I can get you some papers, I can get you this, you let me hit this, and I can, make sure your son don't got to spend no more time in jail, help you get these school fees, whatever. I think maybe he was using his authority in the government to maybe coerce these women. Maybe, maybe not. But this is the amount of women that are involved. 400? I don't think I know 400 women personally. So the idea that he could just smash all these women makes me think, okay, maybe he has something over them. Maybe he was able to do a favor because of his position in government. That's why he stayed in jail for a day and was out the next day, free as a bird. So it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I'm not here to preach about what's moral and immoral, but I do think it just makes me beg the question, like, what is going on um, in these conditions? Just makes me think. I'll leave it there.
I almost forgot. He's got a wife, 6 children, and she fucks around too.
I'll say they're just freaks. Okay, all right, they just freaks. Okay, it is what it is. They're just freaks. Everybody, some freaky people out there. Kendrick Lamar said freak ass niggas they just stay their ass inside. So who knows? They decided to venture out. I don't know.
I full disclosure, I saw some of the videos, and it wasn't 400 of them, but those women were cooperating with him in those videos. I'll put it like that. Cheryl says the context here, though, has to be mentioned. Monogamous relationships are seen as top tier. More than one wife, then you're a savage. Very evangelical Christian thinking. So I know who put the post up on the Discord. And by the way, if you're not on the Discord, hit the link in the description of this episode. Join the Discord, navigate your way to Shoot the Breeze topics channel, and post your topics. Post a 2-sentence prompt and an attachment to YouTube or Instagram or what have you. I know who posted it, but I'm trying to figure out what was, because according to several of you, this guy didn't use his penis to climb any ladder to power. So why do you think it was phrased that way? How to use penis power to climb your way to the top? Anybody have any insights on that? Okay, I guess not.
Nah,
All right.
I guess
Yeah.
what's the word? Yeah, how they look at Africa. I guess like as if you don't have academics and that type of stuff. I guess that's it. Uh, Nonsense.
Yeah, I can't see because again, if his uncle killed his uncle, killed the other uncle, killed the uncle's uncle, I guess, in order to be in power since 1979. I don't think this guy is climbing up with his dick. It seems like he's just a freaky ass, a dirty dick dude. That's it. So, yeah, I don't think he used his penis power to climb his way to the top. It just seems like he's just a dirty dick dude. Which is yeah. I mean, that's weird. Because again, I think sleeping with your because again, so when they say his brother's wife, you got to remember his brother is like the son of the president. No, sorry, no, his brother is another uncle. Sorry, his brother's whatever. But like, let's say his cousin's wife, that's the son of the president's thing, or his uncle's wife, that's the president's wife. You know what I mean? So he's related to these people. Um, he's just doing stuff that you really, really shouldn't do. Like messing with relatives of family is really bad. But if you look at like I guess traditional Europe, it's probably a thing. You know, um, but like people sleep with cousins and all that kind of stuff. That's probably a thing. But yeah, I think yeah he didn't use his penis power to climb. I think he was already at the top. Um, he was born at the top. That's it.
Yeah, it's some crazy shit going on. Like the son of the president, he's known for shopping sprees, and going home with three Italian. Yeah, you know the brands. Three Italian cars at once, and that type of stuff. But question, and maybe off topic. But does somebody knows who buys their oil? Because it's an oil. Banana state. Does somebody know something?
I'm not sure personally. Doesn't sound like anyone else here knows. Maybe Anthony, if he's still in the chat, maybe he can answer that question. He tends to know damn near everything about everything.
I'm
So
trying to look it up now. 'Cause that's a good question. I'm trying to look it up, but but I don't know off the top of my head.
yeah, is it India? Who Who buys their oil? In the chat, Cheryl says. He only got 6 children, and then she has a few laughing emojis. Then she says, when you're trying to create an empire, you need heirs. Very simple. She goes on to say, no one ever said he was smart, but his actions don't reflect the question. All right.
So the answer it says is ExxonMobil, Marathon Oil, Cosmos Energy, and Chevron.
Just so you got your answer, you want to add anything to it?
It sounds very American.
All right. If there's no last thoughts, let's go to the last topic for tonight. Should be topic number 6.